Hello beautiful people. In today's recipe we'll be making this homemade milk bread. In my bowl I added in liquid milk and I brought in the yeast and I also brought in the sugar, and we're going to mix this to combine properly. If you're not sure whether your yeast is still alive, please you have to allow this sit for up to 5 minutes. If it blooms, that's fine. If it doesn't bloom, please discard it and get another one. And I also brought in 1 large egg and melted butter, and we're also going to stir this to combine properly. Mix this properly. And now I brought in the bread flour. You can also use all-purpose flour. I didn't add all at once. And I brought in the salt, and we're going to start mixing this to form a runny dough. At this point I brought in the remaining flour, and we'll keep stirring this till we get a shaggy dough. It's important to note that when you're using all-purpose flour, it's not as strong as bread flour, so you have to use more of all-purpose flour. And now with my hands I'm going to bring this together for all the dry flour to absorb into the mixture, and I'll transfer it to my work table for easier kneading. Now we'll start kneading this. Initially it might seem very sticky. If it's very sticky, don't deter. Knead it for up to 2 minutes, and if it's still very sticky, you might have to add in a couple tablespoons of flour to strengthen it, and if it's too strong, you add in little water to loosen it up. From time to time you use your scraper to clean up your work table, and you'll keep kneading. You'll have to knead this between 7 to 10 minutes depending on how fast you are with kneading. We'll need it to get it to a point like this where it's very soft and very fluffy, and we're going to turn this into a ball shape. And in my bowl I sprayed in oil and I brought in the dough. That will help the dough not to stick to the pan when we are done proofing it. Make sure all parts of the dough get in contact with the oil. That way your dough will quickly slide out of your pan. And I'll cover this and I will allow it to rest on my counter here for up to 1 hour or until it doubles in size. And here is after 1 hour. This has risen so well. I'll spread out some flour on my work surface because this dough is a bit sticky, and we'll bring in the dough. Look at how smoothly it came out. And I'm going to dust some flour on my hands and start bringing this dough together. We'll gently deflate the bubbles and turn it into a ball shape again. Remember, at Glory Homemaker, we give you value for your time. Now we're going to turn this to be firm and tight. And I'm going to cut this into 4 places. If you want exact measurement for each dough, you have to use your kitchen scale, but for this recipe I'm just randomly cutting this into 4 places. And I'll pick up one dough. Observe how I'm folding it into a ball shape. The inner part of the dough is a bit sticky, so I'm rounding it up with the outer part, and I'll set it aside. Let's do it one more time. If your hands get in contact with that inner part, it's going to be sticky, so try as much as possible to work with the outer part. And I'll set them all aside. And here's my rolling pin. I'm going to also rub some flour on it so that it doesn't stick when we're working with the dough. And I'll bring in one dough per time, and we're going to spread this out. I'm spreading this out to the size of my bread pan. Bread making is a skill I think every family should be aware of. Whenever I make my own bread, the whole house is full of nice aromas, and everyone wants more and more of it. And when we get it to this point, we're going to fold it like you see me do. We'll get to the edges. We're going to pinch it together and tuck in the sides nicely. And gently we'll roll this and we'll transfer it out. Let's do this one more time. Practice, they say, makes perfect. We're going to roll this out to the size of my bread pan. If you roll it out too much, it will not fit into your bread pan. And if you roll it out too thin, it's also not going to fit into your bread pan. So you use your bread pan to measure to know how long or short you're going to roll out yours. And we'll also pinch this together. Where are you watching me from? Please leave me a comment. I would like to hear from you. Here is my bread pan. This is one of my favorite bread pans. It doesn't stick, so I don't have to apply butter on it. But if your bread pan sticks or you're not sure, please spread out butter or cooking oil on it before bringing in the dough so that the dough wouldn't stick when it's coming out from the oven. And gently, I brought in all our dough. You can see that they've started rising immediately, so you have to be quick with this. And I'll cover this with my clean kitchen towel. I'll leave it on my counter here to rest and rise between 40 minutes to 1 hour. I live in the warm regions. If you live in the cold regions, you have to send this to a warm place to prove or until it doubles in size. And here is our dough well risen. With my brush, I'm going to apply liquid milk all over this dough. You can use egg to give it an egg wash. This will make it to have an appealing color when it's coming out from the oven. We're going to send this to a preheated oven and bake at 180 degrees Celsius between 30 to 35 minutes. Please check how long you need to preheat your oven before bringing in the dough. Here is our bread coming out right out from the oven. My kitchen right now smells so good. And quickly, we're going to take this out from the pan before it starts sweating. And when you tap it gently, it should give you an hollow sound. That tells you that your bread is well cooked on the inside. And we'll transfer this to a wire rack and allow it to cook completely before cutting into it. Except you're finishing the whole bread at once, you can go ahead and enjoy it immediately. This is because when the bread comes out from the oven, it's still cooking on the inside, and when you cut into it, it might deflate the bread. And here, this bread is so soft and it's so fluffy. I hope this video was helpful to you and you were able to learn a thing or more from this. I would like to hear your questions or suggestions in the comment section. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.